few things probably to note though on this. So while the details, there's not a process to do this yet. In fact, where this is located on StudentAid.gov right now says, hey, let us figure out this income driven account adjustment first, and then we're going to implement this later. So probably the expectation is not to see this really in play until 2024 anyway, at a minimum.
Yeah.
But what it does show in here is that you can't buy back time prior to a consolidation. So that throws a wrench into some things if you hadn't already consolidated and gotten credit and stuff for that. And you can't buy back time on things like the federal family education loans, those FFEL loans.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun to figure
Yeah.
out what this applies to, what it doesn't, but certainly a benefit for those that this applies to.
Would that make some people not want to consolidate until they know that?
There's certainly a conflict there right now because
Ugh.
we haven't even gotten into that on this episode, but there is an account adjustment going on where if you do consolidate, you can get credit. So you can still get credit under that for a lot of these same periods that you would buy back, but not all. And
Yeah.
so that's a
Well,
tough
stay
one.
tuned. Stay tuned on this one. The moral of the story, the takeaway, it's the student loan world is getting more complicated, and you got to have a plan. Like it's going to be so personalized to what you got going on. Like it's really difficult to generalize this kind of thing given all the different roads you could take. But when you start to look at your own circumstances, that's where you start to kind of chart out the path forward. So that's the key, is you want to make sure you're taking that best path forward for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you are curious if this would apply to you, you can actually go and find this on StudentAid.gov. And if you want to review your loans by looking at my aid on the loan, you can see whether they were in periods of forbearance or deferment. Most of those are going to be available to buy back. The things that wouldn't count would be in school deferment. So if your loans were deferred while in med school or something like that, that wouldn't count. And then also the grace period afterwards are not going to be eligible for the buyback. But if you were in any type of economic hardship where you said, I just can't make payments, and the servicer puts you into forbearance or deferment,
like the house scenario
like
I
the
was talking
house
about.
scenario you're talking about, that is the scenario where this may make you eligible. You may have a benefit to come out of this. And we're excited to see how this works.
Yeah. More info to come on this one.